This is not the time for the hotel Wi-Fi to become hotel Wi-Fi. Okay, we are live, everybody. Welcome to Quarantine Theater. It's been a while since I've hosted one of these. I'm so excited. And I'm excited because we are doing one of my favorite comedy films, Tootsie. And I'm even more excited because we have an amazing cast here tonight. We have Alexander Rodriguez. We have George Graham. We have Mark Bourne. We have Brandy Austin. We have Miss Anne Marco. Jeremy Weinreich. Michael Vega making his Quarantine Theater debut. Welcome, Michael.
Thank you.
Travis Sanders. Paul Sosa. And me, Jack Fields. Alrighty. Let's get to it. At last, we finally get into this one.
So did we decide who's doing Rita? I'm sorry.
Huh?
Did we decide who's doing Rita? I didn't.
Go for it, Michael.
Okay, cool. Okay, thank you.
Alrighty. Tootsie, a screenplay by Larry Gelbart. A macro shot like an abstract painting. Only one are unfocused. It is an actor's character box. We slowly pan to see a monocle, different pairs of eyeglasses, rubber appliances, an assortment of brushes. A hand comes into frame and removes a small bottle. We follow to see it is spirit gum. Another hand enters frame and uncaps the bottle. We see only a portion of the cheek of a face. Now the hands apply spirit gum to a rubber scar. Again, we follow the hand as they place the scar upon the actor's cheek. This ritual continues as we watch a mustache being applied. The hands then search out the dental appliances and pick one. We study all this movement as the appliance is inserted into the actor's mouth. Throughout the above, we hear someone mumbling, but we cannot make out the words. Suddenly, we hear,
"Next."
A black screen. Or is it? It's really a darkened theater. We're looking out towards the auditorium.
Michael Dorsey, is it?
Pull back to see Michael's face. He's looking out toward the darkened auditorium. He is an actor, 40 years old. He holds a script.
That's right.
The camera circles and reveals Michael's face. The scar is present, as is the mustache. He also has perfect teeth.
Top of 23.
Do you know what it was like waking up in Paris that morning? Seeing the empty pillow where... Wait a minute, cover your breast! Kevin is downstairs! My God, what are you?
Hand to reveal a burly male stage manager, cigar butt in mouth.
I'm not a woman, not Felicia's mother, not Kevin's wife.
Thank you, that's fine. We're looking for someone a little older.
Cut to the interior of another bare stage. Michael is with another stage manager. He's dressed in cutoffs, a t-shirt, and sneakers. He plays with a yo-yo.
Mom, Dad, Uncle Pete, something's wrong with Biscuit. Think he's dead.
Thank you. We're looking for someone a little younger.
Cut to a third bare stage. Michael is with another stage manager. Michael has dark makeup on. His hair is slicked back. He wears a zoot suit and another mustache. He's a Walkman stereo hanging from his neck and wears earphones.
No, Julia, no. Get out of the burial while you can.
I don't go without Estella.
He whips out a knife and flicks it open under the stage manager's chin. The stage manager looks up from the script in terror.
And I want you to look at me when I talk, man. Look at me.
Oh, thank you. That was very good, but we're looking for someone less ethnic.
Close on some scrapbook pages as the main titles begin. The early years are 6-year-old Michael in a school play, then a high school newspaper article about Michael Dorsey, and in another copy, he's older now.
Next.
In another bare stage, Michael is now deeply moved in tears reading Henry IV.
Old men forget, yet all shall be forgot. But we'll remember with advantages what fears we did that day. Then shall their names. Is my acting interfering with your talking? Because I can keep this down. I mean, I wouldn't want to disturb you. Just tell me if I'm interfering.
Close the scrapbook and music and titles. There's a parchment award, the John Barrymore Award. A mustache is enclosed in cellophane. There's a piece of a program from Cyrano. Run close to the rundown of a storefront. Somewhere in Soho, a hand-lettered sign advertises Richard III. Beneath is Michael's name. In a converted store theater at night, Michael, as Richard, finishes a speech and moves off stage. The audience, consisting of about 12 people, applaud. The most enthusiastic response comes from a 34-year-old endearing blonde named Sandy. Backstage, the director grabs Michael.
Damn it, Michael. I told you to sit on the edge of the stage and talk to the audience.
I'm supposed to be Richard III, not Judy Garland.
Interior of the theater in the round, a rehearsal. Michael, as an old man with wrinkled skin and bald head, lies on one side of the stage. Several actors hover over him.
Quick, get a priest.
No priest.
But you're dying. Count Tolstoy.
A
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, I commit your soul to God.
That was super, Michael. But I wonder if you could cross to center stage on the last speech and then die. The left side of the house can't see you.
You want me to stand up during my death speech and walk?
I know it's awkward, but we'll have to do it.
Not with me as Tolstoy.
Return to the scrapbook. A telegram wishing Michael good luck in New York. A good review of Off Broadway. A mailgram notifying him of an Obie nomination. A wedding photo of Michael and some pretty girl. A clipping in Variety. Due to creative differences, Michael Dorsey has been replaced by Terry Bishop in Petrified Forest. On yet another bare stage, Michael is with another stage manager. Michael angrily slaps the script against his thigh.
Just a minute now. Can I start again? I just didn't start it right.
No, it was very good. Really, it was fine. You're just the wrong height.
Well, hold it. I can be taller. I've got lifts at home. It's really easy to just add a few.
No. You don't understand. We need someone shorter.
I don't have to be this tall. I'm wearing lifts. I could.
Back on the scrapbook, a torn photo of Laurence Olivier and The Entertainer. An article announcing that Michael will be coming to the Guthrie Theater in Minneapolis. A Chekhov play, a faded section of Michael's signed divorce papers. In McCullen's restaurant at night, it's busy and noisy. Would-be actors are waiters and waitresses with capped teeth, bow ties, and aprons. In the kitchen, Michael is unloading a tray of dirty dishes. Beside him is a second waiter, Jeff, doing the same.
You know, I've been trying to revise the necktie speech, and I'm not sure you're right.
I am right. Christ, man, I've lost everything. I've got to go nuts when I can't find that necktie. I can't sit there and describe it to myself.
But it's not the necktie you're describing. The necktie is only a metaphor.
I can't act that. That's a writer's idea.
So is Lear.
Service, table 12.
They start out of the kitchen with the camera following.
Did you hear from your agent?
He wants to reread the play before we talk. That means he hasn't taken it out of the envelope yet.
Cut to the interior of the dining room. Michael and Jeff are coming out of the kitchen when Michael stops suddenly and grabs Jeff's arm.
Jesus. Can you take table 12?
Come on, Sai's still mad because I covered your station Friday. What's wrong?
It's my ex.
Jeff grimaces and ducks away. Michael picks up a couple of menus, steals himself, and goes to the table. Kathy is good looking. Graham is the picture of a three-piece suit respectability. A 2-year-old child is having a tantrum.
Oh my God, Michael, what a surprise. I didn't know you were still, what a surprise. Graham, this is Michael Dorsey, my husband, Graham. Graham is my husband. Well, you know who you are. He's tired. Chucky, be good. You look great, Michael. How's Terry?
He's making a lot of money on a soap. I'm not. I haven't seen him in 6 years.
Oh, great. Are you married?
No, I share an apartment with an unsuccessful playwright. He's a waiter here too.
Oh, great. You look wonderful. You haven't changed at all. Facially. You just look great.
Cut to the exterior of a street. Michael and Jeff are walking.
5 years and she's still out to get me. I didn't know you were still here. You haven't changed at all.
The hell with her.
Yeah, right. Let's just get home and work on the third act. I know why she was there. It's my goddamn birthday today. She came to remind me that after 12 years, I'm still a waiter.
You really think after all this time she remembers your birthday?
Are you kidding? She remembers everything I want to forget. Not that I care about getting older. Christ, age is great for a character actor. Hey, don't mention that it's my birthday to anyone, okay?
Cut to a tenement building shooting down the stairs. As Michael and Jeff come up the stairs toward us.
Michael,
What a night. Thank God it's over.
In the interior of a loft, as Michael steps in and turns on the light, 30 voices scream, "Surprise!" Michael is stunned for a moment, then glares at Jeff, who shrugs good-naturedly. In the loft, open and close on an actor toasting Michael. As we pull back, we see there are 2 walled-off areas for bedrooms. A mirror, a bar, and a bar run along one wall. There is a piano, a kitchen, lots of jug wine, and toasting actors.
Michael, who makes us all remember what acting is about. And to Michael Dorsey, the Ralph Nader of show business.
And Sandy Fisher, the blonde we saw earlier, rises.
To Michael, who's been my friend for 6 years. Oh God, that long. And my coach, and who's just great. A great actor, a great coach, a great friend. This really is a dumb speech, isn't it? Cheers.
They all sing happy birthday as the cake is brought forward. Later, the camera tracks past various groups, some drinking, some pass a joint. They talk about agents, acting classes, the latest vitamins, a new show, how bad another actor is, one teacher's newest technique, how bad Hollywood is, etc. One older man has taken off his shoes and is dancing in front of the mirror. Someone is playing piano. A camera stops at a group of seated people.
I have this audition for a soap tomorrow. 6 weeks, $400 an episode.
Nine callbacks for a nail polish commercial, and I didn't get it.
It's really hard hanging around getting turned down by big shots. It really makes you feel like nothing. And pretty soon, whoever turns you down seems like a big shot.
In another area, Jeff is seated on the floor with a few listeners.
You can't shock anybody anymore. Everybody knows everything. The only chilling thing to say is that they don't seem to care.
In Michael's bedroom, Michael and Linda are on the bed. He is unbuttoning her blouse.
Were you really surprised tonight?
Yeah.
Really? You didn't know? Michael, you didn't know? Answer me.
Yeah, I didn't know. I just said that. What's wrong?
I'd just like you to talk to me for 5 minutes before you start undressing me.
What the hell is this?
I don't see you for weeks. And then the minute we're alone, you're all over me. We can't even have a conversation.
Listen, I'm too old for this shit. It's my birthday.
In the main area, Michael comes out of the bedroom. The party has thinned. The desperate chatter has quieted down, and a couple of the guests dance. Others sit on the floor still talking. Jeff sits, his manuscript in hand, talking about his play.
Hey, Michael, great party.
Hey,
So
you
good, everybody's
lose.
speechless.
Hey, you lose. You were supposed to call me last week.
Right. I'm sorry. I'll call you this week.
You know my number.
You bet.
Sandy cups up. He's distracted.
Well, good night, Michael. It was a wonderful party. My dates left with someone else. I had a lot of fun. Do you have any Secanol?
Come on. I'll walk you home.
Cut to the exterior of the apartment. Sandy and Michael come out and begin walking.
I really had such a good time.
Damn it. I didn't borrow cab fare.
That's okay. It's cheaper to get mugged. The fares are really insane now.
What's wrong? Oh my God, what's wrong?
Nothing. don't feel bad, really. I just cry. It's like a tick.
Tell me what's wrong, or I'll kill you.
Nothing. In fact, I'm very up.
You're worried about the audition, aren't you?
No, I'm not, because I know I won't get it. I'm completely wrong for it.
What's the part?
Woman.
Could you be a little bit more specific?
Michael is holding the script.
You can't have a man, so you want to be one.
You're wrong, Dr. Brewster. I'm very proud of being a woman.
Sandy, this guy is treating you like you're just another bimbo. He thinks he can manipulate you like he does his nurses, but you gotta have the guts of a lion behind that southern accent and elegant dress. You're wrong, Dr. Brewster. I'm very proud of being a woman.
I can't do it as good as you.
Yes, you can, in your own way. Turn the tables on me. Make me pay for everything that's wrong with your life.
You're wrong, Dr. Brewster. I'm very proud of being a woman. Where am I off?
I can't tell what you're playing.
Well, I'm enraged. I'm trying to, turn the tables. Isn't that what you said?
You're enraged? That's rage?
I have a problem with anger.
Well, get over it. Take your finger out of your mouth and act.
You're mad at me.
Stop being a professional waif. Say the lines.
You're wrong, Dr. Brewster.
Just say it. Don't make everything so cute. You cry cute. You apologize cute. You have cute rage.
I'm very proud of being a woman, but I'm also...
Don't show me how mad you are. Control it.
Proud of this hospital before I let it be destroyed by your petty tyrannies.
What do, you silly little bimbo? Cry?
I will recommend to the board that you be turned out into the street. Good day, Dr. Brewster. I said good day.
Okay, getting there.
Did you feel how much I hated you?
Why do you think I'm leaving?
Wait a minute. How do I get it back? I mean, I can't just ask whoever I read with to call me a bimbo.
Okay, all right. I'll pick you up at 10 and I'll enrage you till you read.
Cut to a national TV studio the next day. A few limos are packed in front, people going in and out. It's busy. In the TV studio, in the outer waiting room, Michael and Sandy step out of the elevator. The room is dominated by a colorful mural featuring caricatures of the leading players of Southwest General. Looming above them is a woman wielding a whip. A receptionist, Billy, sits behind a desk. There are 6 women waiting to audition. They are 40-ish, heavy, and thick-browed.
No sequence.
God. I feel pretty.
Shut up, you dumb bimbo.
Thank you.
A woman with a clipboard, Jackie, steps out of Studio B. As she does, Rita Marshall, the show's producer, strides purposefully through, followed by Alfred, the show's wardrobe man, who carries a sequin dress on a hanger.
No sequins, Alfred. She's attending her husband's funeral. If I see one single sequin on her...
I'll take them off.
Ready?
All right, ladies, please have your resumes ready and follow me.
Wish me luck.
Fuck off.
God bless you. You always knew the right thing to say.
The others exit into Studio B. As a guided tour of a dozen people is led in by a studio page. They stop at the...
Here, you'll recognize all your favorite characters on Southwest General, from John Van Horn, who played venerable Dr. Medford Brewster since the very first episode aired almost 20 years ago, to America's best-loved bad girl, Julie Phillips.
A boy of 12 moves from the other tourists toward Michael.
Are you anybody?
Michael sends the boy back to the group, who now gaze reverently at the mural.
The woman with the whip is Rita Marshall, executive producer of Southwest General.
Michael's startled as Sandy comes out of the studio and moves quickly to the elevators. He moves after her.
What happened?
They wouldn't let me read.
What do you mean they wouldn't let you read?
They said I wasn't right physically. They wanted somebody tougher. So I'm going home now.
I'll walk you.
To San Diego?
What are you talking about?
I mean, I'm really going home. I'm 34. I'm a second-rate actress. I have second-rate looks. I can't keep anyone around. I don't have a guy.
All right. I haven't talked to that second-rate asshole in 5 years, but come on. We're not going to let this get away. I'll get you a reading.
They return to the receptionist's desk.
Is Terry Bishop in the studio?
Mr. Bishop left the show. He's rehearsing The Iceman Cometh for Broadway.
What? Sandy, don't do anything dumb. I'll figure out something.
Cut to 6th Avenue. Michael is running angrily up to an imposing building, the National Artists Agency reception area. Michael marches in and past the receptionist.
Just a moment, Miss Dorsey. Mr. Gray is in a conference right now.
But Michael pushes past and through the double doors. In the corridor, Michael is striding down miles of carpeting into George's office.
Michael, he's tied up now, I swear.
He strides past into George Gray's office. George Gray is around 50, impeccably dressed, talking on the phone as Michael enters.
Hold on a second. Michael, can you wait outside, please? I'm talking to the coast.
Yeah, this is a coast too, George. New York is a coast.
Wait a minute. Well, Cy, listen, Cy. Mark, he in the back, will you? I cut myself off.
Terry Bishop is doing The Iceman Cometh. Why didn't you send me up for that, George? You're my agent too.
Stuart Pressman wanted a name.
Terry Bishop is a name?
No, Michael Dorsey is a name. When you want to send a steak back, Michael Dorsey is a name. Excuse me, I didn't mean that. That was a rotten thing to say. Let me start again. People know Terry Bishop. He was the top-rated soap. Millions of people watch him.
And that qualifies him to ruin Iceman Cometh?
Look, I can't have this conversation. You want to do a socially significant theater in Syracuse for $35 a week? That's your affair. Stuart Pressman wants a name. That's his affair. You know what? I know this will disgust you, but a lot of people are in the business to make money.
Don't make me sound like some flake, George. I like to make money too.
Oh, really? The Harlow Theater for the Blind, Strinsburg in the Park, the People's Workshop of Syracuse.
Hey, don't knock Syracuse. It was a revolutionary idea. For $1, you could see great plays. Wojciech, The Lower Depths, Gerhard Hauptmann's The Weavers.
Oh, I didn't know about Garrett Harpkin, The Weavers. Very shrewd career move.
Hey, I got great reviews from the New York critics in Syracuse. Not that's why I did it.
No, of course not. God forbid you lose your standing as a cult failure.
Do you think I'm a failure, George?
I will not get sucked into this discussion. Hand me that little bottle that says Buffrin.
I sent you a play to read, a play that's got a great part for me in it. Did you read it?
Where do you come off sending me an unproduced play that you want to star in? Hand me that Buffrin again. I'm your agent, not your mother. I'm not supposed to produce your roommate's play so you can star in it. I'm supposed to field offers.
Who told you that? The agent fairy? I'm talking about a significant piece of work that has something to say that's significant.
Nobody wants to do that play. No one is going to produce a play about a couple who moves back to Love Canal.
But that actually happened.
Who gives a damn? No one wants to pay $20 to watch people living next to a chemical waste? They can see that in New Jersey.
I give a damn. No one will do the play? I'll do the play. I'll raise the money. Forget about Iceman Cometh. I'll do anything. Send me up for a pilot or a TV movie.
I can't.
Why?
Because no one wants to work with you. There.
I don't understand. Why shouldn't they want me? I'd kill myself to get a part right.
Yeah, but you kill everyone else too. The guy's got 4 weeks upon the play. He doesn't want to argue about whether Tolstoy can walk if he's dying.
That was 2 years ago. The guy was an idiot.
They can't all be idiots. You argue with everyone. You're a brilliant actor, Michael, but you were the worst reputations in town. Now no one will touch you. I've told you to get some therapy.
Are you saying... What are you saying? That no one in New York will work with me?
No, that's too limiting. No one in Hollywood will work with you either. I can't even get you a commercial. You played a tomato for 30 seconds and he went half a day over because you didn't agree with the blocking.
It wasn't logical.
You were a tomato. A tomato doesn't have logic. Logical blocking. A tomato can't move.
That's what I said.
Michael, frankly, it's nice for me to have an artist who says screw you to everybody. It gives me credibility as an agent, but for you,
George, I'm going to raise the $8,000 and I'm going to do Jeff's play.
Michael, you haven't been listening. You're not going to raise 25 cents. No one will hire you.
Oh, yeah?
Cut to Madison Avenue that day, teeming with people coming and going. The focus gradually focuses us to notice one woman moving towards us unsteadily on high heels. She is Michael. In the national TV studio's outer waiting room, Michael in drag stands at the reception desk as Jackie consults her clipboard. 4 other tough-looking women are waiting.
George Gray's your agent?
Hmm?
How do you spell your last name, Dorothy?
Michaels.
Okay, come on. Ron, this is Dorothy Michaels, our director, Ron Carlisle. That's our producer, Rita Marshall. Dorothy doesn't have a resume. She'll only be in town for 2 weeks. Or she's only been in town 2 weeks. George Gray's her agent.
Very, Dorothy. George Gray's takes very few unknowns.
He was very kind to me.
But I'm afraid you're not right for this part, Dorothy. I'm sorry.
Oh, why?
You see, I'm trying to make a statement with the role, a very pertinent statement, hopefully. And I need a specific physical type.
What type? I'm an actress, Mr. Carlisle. A character actress.
Honey, there just isn't time to work on a character on a soap. It's unfortunate, but you either have the right quality or you don't. I'm sure you're a wonderful actress, but you're just a bit too soft, too gently, not threatening enough. No.
You want a threat? How's this? Take your hand off my arm or I'll knee your balls to the roof of your mouth. Is that enough of a threat?
That's a start.
Well, I'll tell you what you really want. You want a character woman to prove some idiotic point, like power makes women masculine or masculine women are ugly. Well, shame on the woman who lets you do it, on any woman who lets you do it. And that means you, dear.
Jesus.
Idiotic about power making women masculine. Not that that's the point.
Cut to the reception area. Dorothy stands by the elevator, glancing over her shoulder. Rita hurries up to her.
Have you ever done television?
No, ma'am, I have not.
Was that for real or were you auditioning for the part?
Which answer will get me a reading?
Cut to the studio floor with Dorothy and Rita. A female stage manager, Jo, wearing a headset and power pack, comes up with
Ron, I want to test Miss Michaels. We're going to run some tape on her.
Julie Phillips, a pretty blonde, the show's leading lady, passes as Dorothy drops the sides. She kneels quickly to retrieve them and discovers Julie kneeling beside her. Helping.
Oh dear, I can't find page 4.
They'll never know the difference.
Julie has gathered the pages. They both stand up. Julie hands Dorothy the pages and smiles understandingly.
Don't think of it as a camera. Think of it as something friendly, like a cannon.
And she moves away, Dorothy staring after her. At the door, Julie turns and winks and gives a thumbs up gesture. In the control room, Ron, Jackie, and others, including Mel Rich, the TD.
I really think she's worth testing for this?
She told me that no director has ever communicated a part to her so fast.
Oh, well, she did pick up what I said very quickly. All right, give me a left profile, camera 2, camera 1, get her right side.
And not so close, camera 1.
Back off, one.
I'd like to make her look a little more attractive. How far can you pull back?
Feel about Cleveland.
Camera one pulls
Good
back.
right there. Miss Michaels,
Oh.
we're gonna try one. You ready?
Joe?
Joe and Dorothy read the audition scene. I know the kind of woman you are, Emily, getting older, never been pretty, but can't have a man, so you want to be one. Dorothy stares at her incredulously and then laughs, surprising everyone with her interpretation. Joe looks up from the script he backs down.
You're wrong, Dr. Brewster. I'm very proud of being a woman, but I'm also proud of this hospital. And before I let it be destroyed by your callous inhumanity, before I let you turn these patients into numbers, before I let you turn the dying into the dead, I will recommend to the board that you be turned out in the street. Good day, Mr. Brewster, Dr. Brewster. I said, good day.
Thank you. Hold a minute.
Tough cookie.
Yes, I gave her that direction.
There's something more, though.
Boy, I don't know. I mean, it's your decision, but something about her bothers me. Doesn't it bother you?
Well, she's feminine without being weak. She saves it from being a caricature. Alfred, get her measurements.
You may have got the part.
We'll get the contracts over to George today. You'll start on Thursday. Alfred, I see peasant skirts and dark sweaters and scarves and lots of scarves. Relight for item 12.
On the floor, Alfred approaches Dorothy with his tape measure.
What's your size, dear?
12? 14?
Well, which is it?
I don't know. I go up and down?
That's more than I need to know, darling.
Cut to the Russian tea room. Patrons are coming and going. Dorothy stands outside waiting as George Gray approaches and goes briskly to the entrance.
Excuse me, sir. I wonder if you could help me. I'm looking for the Russian tea room.
This is the Russian tea room.
Oh, my star, so it is. This is really embarrassing.
Yeah, well, this is it.
He goes in and Dorothy sweeps after him. In the tea room, George sits at a table. After a beat, Dorothy sits next to him.
What the hell is this?
Oh, do you mind awfully? I'm new in town and I'm lonely.
Waiter?
Oh, let's not order yet.
Are you crazy?
It's Michael, you schmuck.
Jesus. I begged you to get some therapy.
You also told me nobody would hire me.
You think this is going to change anything?
I've got a soap, George. I'm the new woman administrator on Southwest General. I almost didn't get the part. They thought I was too feminine.
You'll never get away with this.
I got away with it.
You're psychotic.
The waiter approaches.
Something from the bar?
Double vodka, quick.
And the lady?
Dubonnet with a twist. They're sending you the contracts today.
Me?
I used your name to get the reading.
You had no right to do that, Michael, or whatever you're calling yourself.
Dorothy Michaels. I toyed with Isadora.
Someone in the business, Joel Spector, stops by the table.
George.
Hello, George. I talked to Stuart today. He'll be in London for a week, then he'll definitely want to meet.
Hello.
Joel Spector, this is Dorothy something.
Michaels, I can't tell you how much I admire your work, Mr. Spector.
Dorothy removes her hand from Joel's and begins stroking George's leg. George spills his water and gets very busy, mopping it up with his napkin.
Well, thank you, Miss Michaels. That's very flattering. Next week. Hope to see you again, Miss Michaels.
He leaves.
Couldn't do that as a man. You can put on some dress before you could pay someone a compliment.
Pay the check when it comes and lend me $1,000 until payday.
Why?
We'll have to wear something besides this.
Music swells as we have a montage of Dorothy shopping, a lingerie section, a makeup section, an apparel section. An exhausted saleswoman stands as Dorothy studies herself in the mirror. There are dresses strewn everywhere.
I won't let you not buy it. It's the most becoming dress you've had on.
It makes me look dumpy.
That's because you're wearing ankle straps. Believe me, with a few alterations.
Cut to a street near Bloomingdale's. Burdened with packages, struggling to flag a cab, the cab stops, but as Dorothy approaches, a man cuts in front of her and jumps in and leaves her standing. In the loft apartment, Michael, in an old robe with his feet in a pan of water, packages all around. He pours hot water.
These women are like animals. I saw one really smart handbag, but I was just too exhausted to fight for it. I think it was on sale, too.
Michael.
Ouch. Now I don't have a decent handbag. You know what this little box of lingerie cost? A fortune. And makeup. I don't know how women can keep
Michael.
herself attractive and not starve. Oh, shit. I didn't set my wig.
Michael, let me get this straight.
God, I've got to get up at 4:30 so I can do my own makeup. I can't let them do it or they'll see my beard. I'll call and tell them I have an allergy.
Michael, you understand that it's not that I'm ungrateful, but do you intend to be a woman only on the soap opera, or?
I'll tell you what my real trouble is, Jeff.
Oh?
Sandy. I can't tell her they'd rather cast a man than her. And not just any man, but me. She gets suicidal at a birthday party.
There's a storm cloud.
How am I going to tell her I got the money for the play? What am I going to say? Somebody died and left it to me?
Cut to Sandy's apartment. He has just entered with Jeff's script under his arm. Sandy is closing the door.
Oh my God. When did she die?
Last week?
What of?
Disease? I mean, isn't that great? I'd never dreamed she'd leave me anything.
Gee, well, it's a coincidence you're needing $8,000 and your aunt dying and leaving you to it the same day.
Isn't it? Start learning your lines.
He takes the script and for a moment can't believe it, then leaps into his arms.
Oh my God, Michael, I can't believe it. I've got the part. We have to celebrate. I've got some really cheap wine. You'll hate it. Would you like some?
Why not?
He runs into her kitchenette. Michael studies her, observing the way she moves, watching her back as she opens the wine. She brings him a glass, and they clink.
To love, Canal.
They drink and look at each other, smiling. Suddenly, Sandy throws her glass and screams in delight.
What the hell?
Hold it. I want to see those.
He rushes to her, kneels, and starts to lift up her skirt. She plunges it back down, shocked.
Michael!
I just want to see your panties.
He hesitates, puzzled, intrigued, and removes her hand. The camera moves into Michael as he slowly,
What a great fit.
Michael, after all this time.
Hold a moment on Michael's face as he freezes. Cut to Sandy's bedroom sometime later. Michael is dressing and glancing at his watch.
Will I ever see you again?
Oh, what? Sandy, we've known each other for 6 years.
I know, but sex changes things. I've had relationships where I know a guy and then we have sex, and then if I bump into him, he acts like I've loaned him money.
How about I call you tomorrow?
I know there's a pain in every relationship, and I'd like to have mine now. Otherwise, I'll just wait by the phone, and if you don't call, then I'll have to worry. I'll have pain and wait by the phone, and you could save me a lot of time.
All right, then let's make it definite. Dinner tomorrow?
Cut to Michael's room early the next morning. An alarm goes off showing 4:30 a.m. In a series of quick cuts, Michael is shaving his legs, Michael is shaving under his arms. He applies thick makeup, false eyelashes, and long fingernails. Michael in jockey shorts, makeup and eyelashes, and fingernails in place, straps on a bra, back to front, and moves out of the bathroom. In the kitchen area, Michael is turning the bra back to front and enters a surprised Jeff, seated in a robe with coffee prepared.
You didn't have to get up.
Oh, yes, I did.
In the apartment, Dorothy Michaels emerges and puts her fingers in her mouth and whistles for a cab. The cab screeches to a halt. Cut to the studio building where Dorothy enters and addresses Mac, the security guard.
I'm Dorothy Michaels, Southwest General.
Oh yeah, they want you in conference room B right away.
In the conference room, Dorothy enters. Joe, the stage manager, is there with an official-looking man.
I was told to come right here.
Right. This is Dorothy Michaels, who plays Mrs. Kimberly. This is Dr. Schiff.
Played by who?
Dr. Schiff is Dr. Schiff. He's here to give you a physical.
A what? What?
For insurance purposes, it's routine.
When you're finished, I'll take you to your dressing room.
Dorothy Michaels, is that right?
Yes.
Age?
40? 3? But don't you tell.
Weight? Height?
137? 5'6" and a little bit.
General health pretty good?
Excellent.
Blood pressure's a little high.
Silence. Schiff undoes the blood pressure sleeve and lifts the stethoscope to Dorothy's heart.
First day nerves.
What's this about, an allergy to makeup?
Oh, I just said that. Actually, I'm a wee bit sensitive. I sometimes have this little mustache problem.
Oh. Not all men find that unattractive, you know.
He puts his hand lightly on her knee. In the corridor studio, Joe and Dorothy. Dorothy follows as Joe points off towards a doorway.
You're in 9.
Dorothy enters. In the dressing room, standing in the room wearing a scanty robe, is April Page, delicious, young.
Hi, I'm April Page. Make yourself at home.
As she whips off her robe, revealing a bra and panties, Dorothy gasps, turns away only to see April reflected in the makeup mirror.
Oh, my. What a nice looking table.
Push the telegrams out of the way and make some room for yourself.
Did you open in something?
No, they're from some creep I went out with. You can read them if you want. They're funny.
Sorry about last night. Please forgive last night. Last night will never happen again. What did he do last night?
Nothing. And it took him till 3 a.m. God, it was a drag.
On Dorothy's shocked look, there is a knock. A PA sticks his head in and hands Dorothy 2 blue pages.
For you, Miss Michaels.
Dorothy fastens her eyes on the pages.
They're for today.
They always throw stuff at you last minute. You could lose your mind around here.
Oh, God.
What's wrong?
I have to kiss Dr. Brewster.
Yeah, he kisses all the women on the show. Must be in his contract. We call him the tongue.
Dorothy has a horrified look. In the studio hospital room set, Ron is blocking a scene between Julie and Rick Lacey, who lies atop a bed, script in hand. Rita and the crew stand by making notes. During this, Dorothy stands in the background next to a distinguished-looking gentleman watching. Alvin is making last-minute costume adjustments on her.
Quickly now. The tubes have pulled out of Rick's nose, so there's been an alert at your station, Julie. Rick, as soon as she starts to stuff the tubes back in your nose, you grab her hard.
In his condition?
Absolutely. He's been out of his head since he fell through the ice. And in his delirium, he thinks you're Anthea. Maybe even say Anthea when you grab her.
That's good. Is my violin here in the room somewhere?
No, the violin sank. It's at the bottom of the lake.
The violinist fell through the ice?
He was playing a door in the thaw.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
Sorry. He was playing it during the thaw. You're Dorothy Michaels, aren't you? I'm John Van Horn. We're up next.
Gives his mouth a generous Banaka spray.
Okay, now Julie, honey, when he grabs you, you're torn, you struggle, you should get the tubes back in his nose because he's in danger of anaphylactic shock, but suddenly Here you are in the arms of a man whose music was Anthea's whole life, a man who stood by you after Ted's breakdown.
Okay.
You struggle, but you're struggling with yourself as well.
And I lose, right?
Now, I want to do the whole thing on the floor. It will explain how the tubes fell out. And Julie, when you get down on your knees, it says here it will inflame Rick's desire. God knows it always inflames mine. Okay. All right. Big John, Dorothy, everybody, this is Dorothy Michaels, our new hospital administrator.
We met the other day. I'm Julie Phillips, the hospital slut.
Mr. Carlisle, I have a teeny question about this business with Dr. Brewster.
Sweetheart, we are so late. We're not even going to be able to rehearse it.
But
I'm gonna have to show you your marks, honey, and then you're gonna have to go right into tape.
But
Big John, you enter. You see him struggling. Cross over to Rick and Julie and cry loudly. Nurse Charles, are you insane?
Yes, I see. Will that be on the teleprompter? Loudly.
Yes. Now, Toots, you enter here. You cross to here, and your corridor scene is here.
Components at the door to the X's on the floor. Close on a tape reel's spinning as an editor sips a bottle of celery tonic. Studio B is taping. Julie is on the floor struggling with Rick, who keeps saying Anthea in a delirious voice.
Anthea.
And Horn enters and glances at the teleprompter and says,
Nurse Charles, are you insane?
The door bursts open and Dorothy enters.
I'm Emily Kimberly, the new administrator. What's going on here?
Help me get her to her feet, Miss Kimberly.
Tend to your patient, Nurse Charles. You and I have to talk, Dr. Brewster.
In the control booth, Ron holds his head to his hands.
I don't believe this.
It's all right. The girls saved it.
John and Dorothy are doing their scene. John's eyes go to the teleprompter behind Dorothy frequently.
Well, you haven't changed at all, Emily.
Oh, but I have, Medford. Now that Father's dead, the weight of this hospital falls on my shoulders, and I will bear that weight no matter what obstacles you put in my path.
You know, Emily, there's no reason for us to be in opposite camps. We can rule Southwest General together. I admire people with power, women with power especially.
Is this the same approach you would have used on my father, Dr. Brewster? Do you really think I'm someone who you can grope in the broom closet and then not consider a threat? I'm afraid, Dr. Brewster, that you have underestimated me. If you want to win me over, you'll have to deal with my mind, not my lips.
Cut. Stop tape.
Can we use it?
Are you kidding?
In the studio, the cast and crew, Rita and Ron, enter. John stands holding his face. There's a buzz of conversation, all overlapping.
I was supposed to kiss her.
It was an instinct. I kept hearing Ron's words, instant threat, and I realized how much it would...
It was a good instinct. It would have been mine.
Oh, just a minute. I'll handle the instincts here. It happened to be a good instinct, but next time, if you have a question about a piece of business, you discuss it with me.
It was wrong of me not to.
And thanks for catching me. You saved my ass. I mean, literally.
Okay, people. Item 7.
Big John, good work.
All leave except Van Horn and Dorothy.
Dorothy, I just want to say that I love what you did in our scene. Welcome aboard.
He kisses her full of the mouth. And cut to the exterior of the studio. Ron and Julie come out, arm in arm. Julie stays near the building as Ron moves to the curb to get a cab. In a
You'll
moment.
sleep good. Sorry. You'll sleep good tonight.
My stars, it certainly was exhilarating.
Tell me that next week.
Come on, honey.
Can we give you a lift? Why don't you join us for a drink?
Oh, thanks, but I feel like walking.
Dorothy watches as Ron and Julie drive off, then limps toward the curb to hail a cab. In the loft apartment at night, Jeff sits at the table smoking his pipe, holding his play. Michael is in shorts, setting his wig.
I mean, I don't know if she's pretty or not, maybe in a Hollywood way, but she's no dummy. She threw in that feint like a pro.
I rewrote the necktie scene. You were right. It was too literary.
I wonder how my legs would look in flats. You know, I've got this whole character for Dorothy. I know everything she's going to do. I really understand this woman.
The phone rings, and Jeff starts for it.
Wait, don't answer that.
Why?
It could be for Dorothy.
You gave them this number?
Well, they have to contact you if they have a change of call.
Well, I'll answer it and see.
No, I've got this whole image for Dorothy. It's wrong for a man to answer her phone.
Michael, God damn you, that could be my agent. Answer it as Dorothy.
No, it could be Sandy.
Jesus, it could also be Diane. I can't have a woman answering the phone.
We'll get a service.
That takes 3 days. Look, I didn't complain when you kept threatening my life as Duke Manton. I didn't complain when you hopped around ranting about your hump, pretending this was a bell tower. I'll be goddamned if I sit here pretending I'm not home because you're not that kind of girl.
Where are you going?
I'm going over to Diane, so she'll know where I am all night when I don't answer the phone.
Jeff, I'm doing this for you too. You and Sandy. Oh my God. Oh my God.
What?
Sandy.
Cut to Sandy's apartment. Sandy is sitting by the phone, coat over her arm, as the phone rings.
I asked you to give me the pain yesterday, Michael.
Sandy, I can't talk long. I didn't forget, but I've got some kind of virus. I'm really sick. I may have the flu.
No, Michael. Have you got a fever? Oh my God. How much? Oh my God. Okay, you go right to bed. Take 2 aspirin, bundle up, sweat, drink tons of liquids, and then take 1,000 units of vitamin C every hour with milk. And Michael? Michael?
Cut to a black screen. There is a scratching sound as of a dog pawing at the door. After a moment, the light goes on. We are in Michael's apartment. He had fallen asleep with the script in his lap and now sits, fully awake and wary as the scratching sound continues. He turns the lights off, picks up the lamp, moves silently to the door. He slides open the bolt and opens the door a crack, leaving the chain on. Sandy is kneeling in the hall, writing a note. Food containers and bowls wrapped in tinfoil are all around her. Sandy's so sweet.
Sandy? It's me.
Oh God. Go back to bed. I didn't mean to get you out of bed. I made you some soup and I picked up some fruit juice and milk for the vitamin C. And I was just writing a note telling you it's for me so that you wouldn't get paranoid and throw it out. And I woke you. I could kill myself. I'm so sorry.
Oh, Jesus, Sandy. You shouldn't have done all of that.
No, it was no trouble. Should I bring it in?
Of course, you can bring it in. I'll put on a robe, but you can't stay long because I'm infectious.
I could catch it right.
He closes the door and turns on the light and whizzes around the room, collecting Dorothy's clothes and stuffs them in his closet, puts on a robe and starts panting to the door. He suddenly notices his long pink fingernails, runs back and finds a pair of mittens and puts them on.
Oh, Michael. Oh, you're wheezing. Okay, sit right down. All right, I can manage these.
He carries the dishes to the kitchen, and Michael goes wearily into the hall and picks up the rest. When he steps inside, Sandy is holding a pair of pantyhose.
Honey, please put them back on. Don't be hurt, but I can't right now. I'm too beat from this virus to move.
These aren't mine. They were on the floor outside your bedroom.
What? Goddamn, Jeff, I told him not to use my bedroom.
There's padding on the hips.
Yeah, so there is. Jeff must have died when she took them off. He loves hips.
Where is Jeff?
At Diane's, writers are insatiable.
Well, if you get better and you feel like calling.
What do you mean if I get better? This isn't terminal. I'll be better tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
I mean soon, a few days. And I'll call you first thing.
Maybe. If you can eat. We'll have dinner?
Good idea. Dinner for sure.
The music up as another montage of George's secretary sitting as though typing an earplug in her ear. Dorothy and Julie exit the studio. Julie is surrounded by fans, but Dorothy waves goodbye as Julie shrugs. Sorry about that. Jeff and Michael are walking through the park. Jeff is holding a script. Michael gesticulates wildly. Dorothy and Julie exit the studio. 7 or 8 fans start toward Julie. but one of them drifts over to Dorothy. A group of housewives are at a card table. They are all watching Southwest General. Michael and Jeff are walking, and Michael veers off to a jewelry store window. Michael is on the phone to Sandy and writes down the dinner date on his phone pad. Sandy rushes out of a supermarket loaded with groceries. In the studio, Emily's office, Dorothy and Van Horn are taping a scene with Julie and April standing out of camera watching.
I think you'll find you've picked the wrong man to challenge, Miss Kimberly.
Dorothy takes his face abruptly in her hands and turns his head away from the teleprompter so he looks at her.
Look at me, Dr. Brewster. I don't trust a man who won't meet my eye. I don't trust it in a bank teller. I don't trust it in an insurance salesman. And I certainly don't trust it in a chief surgeon.
She whips his head back to the teleprompter.
It was you who threw down the gauntlet.
You're an incredibly insensitive woman, Miss Kimberly.
Stop thinking of me as a woman, Dr. Brewster, and stop thinking of me as a person. That's what Southwest General is made of, people. And the sooner you realize that, the less tension you and I will have. And tell Nurse Charles I want to see her immediately.
There's a music sting. Cut to the control room. All.
One, push in for close-up.
Not too close.
Hold. And cut.
A red light flashes on a phone. Rita picks it up. In the studio, Julie is in hysterics, trying to hide it.
That was wonderful. The way you held my face, you really controlled me. I felt your power.
Good news, children. Our brilliant engineering staff has again erased an entire reel of the show. So I'm afraid we'll have to tape it again. It's either that or do it live tomorrow.
I think we should tape.
Later in the studio, the taping is over. Joe hands out tomorrow's pages. Dorothy takes hers and starts off the floor and suddenly freezes and stares off. In a space between sets, Ron has April pressed against the wall, his hand halfway up her skirt, his mouth over hers. In the dressing room corridor, Dorothy is thinking as she passes Julie's dressing room.
Someday, huh?
Does this happen often?
Every so often. We actually had to do it live once. You should have seen Van Horn's face. Of course, you couldn't see Van Horn's face. He was so panicked they had to shoot him from his back. Drink?
No, thank you.
Dorothy, I know this is just what you want to hear, but we have 26 pages tomorrow. If you could find it in your heart to come over and run it with me, we could have something to eat. I'm a born defroster. Surely you can't tell me you've had enough soap opera for one day.
Outside the TV studio, there is a fan.
Miss Kimberly, you look just the way you look.
Pull back to see April, Julie, and Dorothy all signing autographs.
Did you give Melanie White an overdose of X-ray on purpose?
I don't know. I don't write this shit, you know.
Please don't be so hard on Dr. Brewster. He's only mean because he's so insecure.
Cut to the left with Jeff and Michael. The apartment is a cyclone of clothes, shoes, and underwear.
What do you mean you don't have a thing to wear?
You've seen me in all of these.
Not in the white.
I can't wear the white to a casual dinner. It's too dressy. Listen, I signed 26 autographs today. Not that that means anything, but some of those fans aren't so dumb either.
What about this little yellow outfit? It's pretty.
I don't have any shoes for it. And it's tight across the bust. It makes me look cheap.
I think it looks sexy. Oh my God, what am I saying?
I know it seems silly to you, but it's our first date, and hell, I want to look pretty for her.
In Julie's apartment, the entry hall, Julie is holding a glass of wine and opens the door to admit Dorothy, holding a small bouquet of flowers, her coat over her arm.
Hi, what a pretty dress.
Thank you.
Oh, they're beautiful. You didn't have to do that. Let's get them in some water.
Ma, what a lovely room.
Is it? An interior decorator did it. Before the show, I had no money. Since the show, I've got no time.
Mrs. Crawley enters with her hat and coat.
Andrew is asleep, finally. I'm counting on this overtime against my night off, Mrs. Phillips.
Oh, what a good idea. Thank you, Mrs. Crawley. This is Dorothy Michaels. Dorothy, Mrs. Crawley.
Nice meeting you.
That's Andrew's nanny. She hates me.
Andrew is a child.
He's my son. He's 2.5. Would you like to see him?
Not really.
Why would anybody want to see somebody else's kid sleeping?
They move to the kitchen, where Julie gets busy putting the flowers in a vase. A half-finished bottle of wine is in evidence.
So, you getting to the point where you start thinking the fans are really smart yet?
Oh, of course not.
You don't have any kids, do you?
No, Sutton and I were never blessed.
Oh, would you like a drink?
No, thank you.
Is Michael's your maiden name?
No, it's Sutton's. He was a brilliant young actor whose career was cut short by the insensitivity of the theatrical establishment.
It killed him?
In a manner of speaking. He's a waiter. We're divorced.
Ah, woo!
I take it you're divorced as well.
No, I've never been married.
Oh, perhaps one drink.
Cut to a woman's hands preparing a dish. Reveal Sandy's kitchen. She is happily preparing for her dinner with Michael. In Julie's kitchen, Julie and Dorothy are sharing a bottle of wine which stands empty. They are deep into the second one. Julie extracts 2 chunks of cloudy ice from the freezer.
Inside each of these icebergs beats the heart of a lobster tail. That sounds a little weird, anatomically wise.
It's just the juxtaposition of the heart and the tail that's wrong.
Exactly my point. Listen, you're really a hell of an actress.
Well, thank you.
You started out in New Orleans?
No, in the Glass Menagerie, but the production was in New Orleans. I'm from Atlanta.
Dorothy has wandered over to a bulletin board containing torn out sections of soap magazines with Julie's picture and headlines such as Julie and Bert, Southwest General's blazing duo, Julie and Lance, and another Rick and Julie. Is he really singing only for her?
Ma, did you date all these guys?
Bert and I met in an agent's office. Lance played one scene with April and got fired. I never did meet him. The closest I got to Springfield was when I bought one of his records.
Tell me about Ron.
How much time you got? Well, Ron is hands down the best director of daytime drama. Did they warn you to not call it a soap? For a while, if anyone said soap opera in front of a civilian, Rita fined them a quarter. I think that's how she got her Mercedes.
And Ron and you.
Oh, that's the nighttime drama. He's interesting there, too.
How nice for you.
Nice is not the very first word that comes to mind.
So you have a good relationship.
What's a good relationship, Dottie? Can I call you Dottie? He's smart. He's charming. He's confident. He knows how to get his way.
With you?
You bet. He's not bad with Andrew, and we have things in common. You know any man interested in a woman who's hungry for dinner at 4, unconscious by 9, and goes to work at dawn?
But he treats you badly.
Ah, there's that. Listen, you don't think I do this without a plan, do you? There's a lot of men in this world, but I'm selective. I look around very carefully, and when I find the guy I'm sure they can give me the worst time, that's when I make my move.
A wail is heard from the other room. Julie sets her drink down and moves quickly out of the kitchen. In Andrew's bedroom, Julie leans over the curb and Dorothy watches.
Good evening, Andrew. We have a bit of an incontinence problem. Aunt Dorothy, will you hold him while Mommy gets a fresh set of pajamas and etc.?
Dorothy is horrified but accepts Andrew. Julie searches through the drawers and Dorothy holds Andrew awkwardly away from her.
Oh my, we're a big boy, aren't we?
Actually, you can sit him down on the changing table if you just hold on to him. What's the matter?
He's got his little fingers in my hair.
Dorothy's wig is beginning to fall over her eyebrows. She's carefully prying Andrew's fingers loose.
Here, let me help you.
No, it's fine. I can do it. Let go, Andrew. Little shit.
In Sandy's apartment, sitting at a table set for two, candles and all, she checks her watch unhappily. In Julie's apartment, they sit in the living room, half-eaten plates on a coffee table. Andrew sits in pajamas, playing with a ball, beside Julie in a big chair.
Are you so sure of that, Nurse Charles? Your line.
When you grow up the way I did, an orphan raised by a sister 16 years older, you'll have very few illusions. Oh, boy, thanks. That was a big help.
May I ask you a question? You're so pretty and talented. Why do you drink so much?
You know, there's no more calories in a glass of wine than in a serving of mashed potatoes.
One doesn't usually have 14 servings of mashed potatoes.
Bertram Cannister once ate 66 servings of mashed potatoes in Glasgow on August 31st, 1939, the next day Hitler invaded Poland. That's from the Guinness Book of Records. I'm an expert on trivia. If it's trivial enough, it's when it gets complex that I'd rather just not.
What's complex?
What isn't? Truthfully, don't you find being a woman in the 80s difficult?
Extremely.
All this role-playing confusion. Everybody seems so screwed up about who they are. You know, what I wish sometimes that just once a guy could be honest enough to walk up and say, hey, look, I'm confused about all this too. I could lay a big line on you, but the simple truth is I find you very attractive, and I'd really like to go to bed with you. Wouldn't that be a relief?
Heaven.
I never get enough time with him. He insists on being awake in the day and sleeping at night. The nerve, huh? I tell you something, though. I'm crazy about the little bastard. Using the word advisedly. Isn't Mommy crazy about you? He's the only absolutely straight person I know, except maybe my father, and in a way, you. You know what? He likes me a little too. I can recognize the signs. There's absolutely no bullshit with this child. Ron was supposed to be here last night. I had dinner ready, he never showed up. Claimed he completely forgot about it. Do you suppose that could be true?
Oh, God! What time is it?
10:30.
Oh, I've got to go. Forgive me for rushing off. Thanks for dinner.
Alrighty, and with that, we are going to take a, what does everybody need? 10?
Whatever.
10, 15?
Whatever.
10 is good. I just have to pee.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Ted.
Let's
Big
do
Ten.
P10.
And
Cool.
The toilet flush.
Love it.
Okay. So this script's a little different from the final movie. Still got all the best stuff, though.
Jack, can I ask you how you get your scripts? Because I've been looking for like my favorite Christmas movie script, and I can't find it anywhere.
Well, I mean, the one that I find the most on is a paid subscription one called Scribd.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm happy to do searches for you if you want to let me know what you're looking for. I can check Scribd.
Awesome. I would love that.
Yeah.
What movie are you looking for?
The Family Stone.
Hmm.
I love that movie so much. I want to do it.
Alrighty. And I think you're all back. Alrighty.
Physically, not mentally.
All right. Cut to the interior of Michael's apartment. Dorothy is running around, pulling off her wig and transforming herself back into Michael. At Sandy's apartment, a sober Sandy opens her front door to reveal Michael holding an ice cream bag.
I got your flavor, chocolate chip. I had to go to about 5 stores before I found it.
Michael, I saw her.
What? Who?
I stopped by your apartment when you didn't show up. I waited outside and I saw that fat woman go into your place.
Fat woman? Oh, that fat woman. The one who's helping Jeff with the play. Sandy, listen, I'm not having an affair with the woman who went into my apartment. It's impossible. I swear to God.
Really?
Really?
Oh, Michael, I don't want to cause you any trouble. I made you feel obligated to come to dinner.
Sandy, don't do this. Don't apologize to me because I showed up 3 hours late.
It's not your fault. It's me. It's just been a bum year, and I guess I'm still feeling bad about the soap. And God, I really wanted that part. And more than anything, by the way, have you seen that cow they hired?
What?
God, I don't think she's so tough.
I heard she was pretty good.
Baloney! She's the head of the hospital, and she's a woman. Look at all the good she could do.
Maybe it's the lines.
Anyway, you should see the way she looks. God, if she was a guy, she'd be a dog.
In the interior of Michael's loft, cold cream is on his face. He pores over books on feminism. Friedan, Steinem, de Beauvoir. In the studio, Dorothy and a patient, the female patient, is in an arm cast, sobbing.
Can't move out, Miss Kimberly. I don't know what to do.
The teleprompter shows Dorothy's lines. Your husband's problem is that he feels worthless without a job. In the control room, watching the monitor, a man and woman, writers, are also watching.
Don't lie there cringing and telling me your husband beats you, but you can't move out, Mrs. Mallory. Why should you move out? It's your house, too. Study karate and buy an attack dog. A Doberman Pinscher.
Rita, Ron, Jackie leap to their feet.
I can't afford therapy, Miss Kimberly.
I'll pay for it. Although if I were you, I'd put my money on the dog.
And cut.
In the studio, all are talking at once.
Line was your husband's problem? Is that he
Yes,
feels?
yes, I know.
Now let's evaluate what we have here.
The riders burst in.
What the
is
hell is going on
Rita?
here, Rita? No, you go after you.
What the hell is going on here, Rita? I wrote a very topical scene about two guts of you. Calm down, Adam. I'm handling it.
Dorothy, it's not that it was uninteresting.
May I say, in my own defense, Miss Marshall, that to tell a woman with 2 children, a broken leg, and no money to move out of her own house and into a shelter so she can get counseling seems to me terribly unfair. He gets the house and she limps around, penniless, listening to a lot of half-assed advice.
Excuse me. I'm only the writer, but perhaps you should know, Miss Michaels, that there's a terrifying situation in this country today. Helpless, abused, forgotten wives.
Who is the woman standing next to you, sir?
My wife, Cynthia. She writes the show with me.
Oh, I'm sorry. You kept using the word I. It confused me.
Pose on the desk with hundreds of envelopes, most of them addressed to Dorothy Michaels. And the exterior of a suburban supermarket mall, April, Dorothy, Rick, Julie, Van Horn are all signing autographs, a warm sense of camaraderie between Julie and Dorothy. In the control room, on monitors, a sobbing Julie speaks to Dorothy in an office set.
It's partially my fault, Miss Kimberly. I know I'm pretty and I use it. I shouldn't have gone into Dr. Brewster's office that late.
Dr. Brewster has tried to rape several nurses in this ward, always claiming to be in the throes of uncontrollable impulse. Well, I'm giving every nurse on this floor a handgun, instructing her to aim below the belt. Let's see if that doesn't make him less impulsive.
And cut.
Oh, that's too much now. I'm going to be an advocate for gun control.
I don't know. Nancy Reagan has a handgun and she's not even a nurse.
In Sandy's apartment, she is on the phone with Michael.
So, I was thinking in the scene where we first step back into the house, I would close my eyes and just for the first moment, almost like I was in church. What'd you think? Michael?
In Michael's loft, he's holding up pictures of himself from soap magazines. Jeff watches curiously. Michael, we lost Michael.
But it's a great shot of him.
Yes, it is.
Where's my video?
Hi, we can't continue without Dorothy. Oh, good, Sandy. Outside 57th Street, George and Michael are walking.
Hello? Sorry.
You're good. You're good, Michael.
Where did we leave off? My internet just totally went out.
You're good. If you want to take it from, oh, good, Sandy. 70.
Okay. I should do a special, George. That's the only way I can.
Let's not get carried away now.
Why not? I think I have something to say to women, something meaningful.
Listen to me, Michael. You have nothing to say to women.
That's just not true. I've been an underdog. I know what it's like to be oppressed. And if I can impart that experience to other women like me.
Michael, you've got to listen to me. You are no other woman. There's no other woman like you. You're a man.
Yeah, of course. But I'm also an actress.
Maybe we shouldn't argue about.
I'm in a great position here, George. There are dozens of roles I can play. Nora in A Doll's House, Hedda Gabler, Antigone. A great role is a great role.
Philip Winthrop's spring party is Friday.
I've never been invited to that party before.
You were never named before.
You mean I'm invited as Dorothy?
Okay. Come as Michael. I'm inviting you. Be my guest.
You've never invited me either before.
You wouldn't have come. You've never exposed yourself to all that success.
They enter the Russian tea room. In a penthouse apartment, a party is in session. Someone like Bobby Short is at the piano. The guest list is made up of the successful. Camera finds Michael and Sandy being introduced by George to Phil Wintrop, a short but powerful man.
Phil, this is?
Sandy Fisher.
Good to know you. Nice to see you. Glad you could make it. Dorothy Michaels couldn't come, huh?
She had other plans.
Nice seeing you again.
He's a fantastic host.
Michael, everyone is here.
I'll get us some drinks.
Camera follows as he makes his way to the bar. He suddenly freezes as he sees Julie and Ron.
Yes, sir.
Give me 2 of anything.
He turns away as Ron approaches the bar, smiling at a pretty young thing. He sees Phil approach Julie.
I'd love to have you read the script. I think you'd be perfect for it.
Send it to Pamela Brown. She's my agent.
There's a lot of interest over at Paramount. I'll know after the first.
I'll read it after the first.
Actually, I'm not that happy with the script. I'm having a rewrite done. I'd love to tell you some of the changes. Maybe we could have dinner.
Call Pamela. She handles me for dinner.
As she moves out onto the terrace, she's alone, drink in hand, looking at the spectacular view. Michael appears and leans on the rail near her.
Hi. My name's Michael Dorsey.
Uh-huh.
Great view, huh? Only Phil could afford that many lights. Can I tell you something?
Have I got a choice?
You know, I could lay a big lie on you, but the simple truth is I find you very attractive, and I'd really like to go to bed with you.
Julie turns and hurls her drink into his face. As the drink runs down his face, a close-up of Michael. And a close-up of Julie.
You arrogant, fraudulent cheat. I understand who you really are.
Pull back to see we are in the studio, taping a confrontation between Julie and Van Horn. April is cowering in a corner.
I'll no longer submit to your petty insults, your humiliations. It isn't necessary now that Emily Kimberly is here, now that someone who sees the truth is your equal. I've filed formal charges against you with the AMA, Doctor. You will be notified tomorrow.
A musical sting. Mel's voice comes over the PA and cut.
Gosh, Julie, that was great.
Lovely job, Julie. First rate.
You were wonderful.
Thanks to my coach.
Oh, no.
Ron appears and seems disturbed at that last remark.
Okay, people. Item 17 is next. Jackie, clear the set. John, I need you. You too, Tootsie.
Ron, my name is Dorothy. Not Tootsie, not Toots, not Honey, not Sweetie, not Doll.
Oh, Christ.
No, just Dorothy. John is always John, Rick is always Rick, Mel is always Mel. I'd like to be Dorothy.
She stomps off to an adjoining set. Julie looks at Ron for a moment, then moves off after Dorothy. Cut to a funeral parlor set. Dorothy enters and sits disconsolately on a chair beside a coffin atop a bier. A moment and Julie enters. She stands in the doorway staring at Dorothy.
Somebody died?
The violinist.
I didn't know he was that sick.
He isn't. He asked for a raise.
I'm sorry about what I said to Ron.
Don't be. Listen, what are you doing over the holiday?
Why?
Andrew and I are going home. Well, upstate, to my dad's farm. We do it every Easter, dye the eggs and all. It's not exactly the fast lane, but it's fun. You'll love my dad. He's your biggest fan. He watches the show as much for you as he does for me.
Ron coming?
Would that make a difference? I don't think so. He says he has to work. Look, if it makes any difference, I hate women who treat other women as stand ins for men. It isn't that. I think we'd have a good time. I'd like you to come.
Cut to the loft with Sandy, Jeff, and Michael, finishing up a reading of their play. Sandy is surprisingly moving in the role.
The world won't know. No one will ever know, but maybe it's enough that you and I do. No matter what happens. We're home, Tom. Really, really home.
They wait. Michael, gloves to the cover of his nails, stares off into space.
Your cue, Michael.
I'm sorry.
Listen, I think we better knock off now. That rash on your hands has really got you bushed.
I'm really sorry.
Is it awfully uncomfortable?
Yeah, it is.
Well, if there's anything I can do, you be sure and...
Sandy, I want to tell you something. I
know, I was lousy tonight. I was just trying something, that idea with my eyes closed.
No, you were great, Sandy. That's not it.
Listen, why don't I run Sandy home while you soak your hands, okay?
Okay. Maybe that's a good idea.
Okay. Good night. Take it easy. Get some rest.
You too.
Jeff and Sandy exit. Alone, Michael starts back towards the bedroom. He hesitates, then moves over to the piano. He takes his gloves off and studies his pink nails, then begins to play very slowly a lonely one-finger version of Toot Toot Tootsie Goodbye. The camera pulls back until his figure is small in the large empty loft. Oh, what an interesting shot that would have been. High angle on a train moving through the eastern countryside. At the train station, the train pulls in. Waiting expectantly is Wes Phillips, Julie's father, a heavy-set, warm, and decent man in his 50s. He grins and waves as first Julie gets off, carrying a bundled-up Andrew, followed by Dorothy in her fur coat, hat, and muff, looking like Anna Karenina.
Oh, hello, sweetheart. Who's this big guy, huh? You gonna hunt eggs with Grandpa?
Dad, this is Dorothy Michaels.
I feel like I know you already.
They smile and shake hands warmly. At the Phillips farmhouse, it is a working farm. Les's pickup truck pulls up as Les helps Julie and Andrew out. Dorothy goes to the rear and starts pulling out suitcases. Les hurries to her.
Oh, hey, let me get those. Well, strong little thing, aren't you?
In the farmhouse bedroom, Les, Julie, and Dorothy. It's a girl's room, covered with wallpaper in delicate patterns of rosebuds, white curtains, white canopy over the bed, high school banner, a picture of a woman resembling Julie. Les puts down the suitcases.
Goodness, how do you keep everything so wet?
Air's pretty clear out here. I'll put Andy in the little room next to mine. Give him a chance to be near Grandpa. Unpack your stuff and we'll get going on the Easter eggs, huh?
Are we sharing?
Only got 2 spare rooms, and I know you girls. No matter how far apart I put you, you'll sneak back together and spend the night giggling.
Dad still thinks I'm 12. Don't worry, I won't take up much room.
In the farmhouse kitchen, Easter eggs are being dyed. Everyone is working.
I'll get up real early and hide these. You ladies can get some sleep. Come on, Andrew. Let's get the gunk off our hands and lay in a good fire. Julie, I put in a brand new chimbley.
But a brand new what?
Dad prefers his own pronunciation.
I've been saying chimbley all my life.
What's the best way to drink milk? If it's what?
Emulsionized.
And where do you look up your facts?
Really?
Where?
The encyclopedia. No, she's the only one I can get away with that.
You love it.
How's your drink?
Delicious. Very mild.
He sneaks up on you 3 or 4 and you start fighting the dog for his bone. I hope you're enjoying yourself.
Everything's perfect.
No, I'm not too used to guests up here. Come on, Andrew. Why don't you girls start rustling up some dinner?
Start a cooking montage with shots of the girls cooking and having a good time. Dorothy staring off at Julie as she moves gracefully here and in her own home, the evening light making her hair golden. At the dining room table, Julie is feeding Andrew and Dorothy is watching. They all laugh and eat heartily. Les watches Dorothy, smiling shyly. Andrew throws some food at Dorothy. We hear voices and singing and dissolve to the living room. They all hold drinks and stand around the upright piano, singing as Dorothy plays. Go ahead.
Ma, I'm just not in good voice tonight.
How I want to be.
Maybe so long as you agree to stay old fashioned with me.
Okay.
That's beautiful, Dorothy. I didn't know you played so well.
It's a wonderful thing for a lady to play piano.
Oh, my mama insisted.
In the morning, maybe you'd like to look the place over. We'll show Andrew the new milk cow.
You remember Injun Joe's?
Don't you tell that story.
Daddy hangs out at this bar.
Don't hang out there.
And one night, he and Injun Joe had a few too many ha-has.
Really?
And it was hunting season, and they saw this elk. So they grab their 30-30s and go out in the dark and start stalking it. And finally, they corner it over by Charlie's barn. They creep up real close and bang. Both of them blast away and half the barn wall disappears. Which is just as well because right then the elk moved. And it was one of Charlie's heifers that got through the fence.
All right, that's enough laughing at your old man. You know this one? For it, Mary, Mary.
No.
Not before the fashion came. Guys, doesn't get to that end. There's something there. That sounds so square. It's my grand old name.
Dorothy's finishing with a rolling chord. Now, this is very different from the movie.
Yeah.
That was Julie's mother's name, Mary Juliet Cooper.
Oh, well, it's after midnight. Got a tough hunt for those eggs tomorrow. Want to hit the hay, as we say on the farm?
Oh, well, I think I'll stay up just for a teeny while. You go on.
Julie leans down and kisses Dorothy on the cheek and puts her arm around her father and kisses him.
Be good, you two.
She goes.
Nice girl, isn't she?
Very sweet.
Les sits in his big old easy chair and Dorothy is on the couch.
You know, I'm kind of glad old Ron didn't come up.
I believe I am too, actually.
I know it's old-fashioned, but I still can't get used to a man sleeping in the same room with my daughter in my own house. We're not even married.
Oh, that makes two of us.
Really? I thought you'd be more like, one of those liberators.
I'm not really the woman you see on the show.
No, you're not really. You're much gentler. Julie's too old for me to be telling her what to do or how to be, and I'm too old to tell her, but I can't turn off my feelings, It bothers me. Andrew not really having a father. Everything seems so out of whack these days. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for this equal business. I think women ought to be entitled to have everything and all, etc. Except sometimes I think what they really want is to be entitled to be men. Like men are all equal in the first place, which we're not. I don't know why I'm running on like this. Can I get you another drink?
No. Let's keep my wits about me tonight.
Tonight?
Always. I always must keep my wits about me.
I can remember years ago there was none of this talk about what a woman was, what a man was. You were just what you were. I keep seeing in the magazines down at the barbershop all these articles telling you how much you are of one sex or the other and how much you should be like the one you're not. So you can all be more the same. I'm sorry, but we're just not, I mean, look at you. You could put on a suit and call yourself Donald, and I'd still know you were female. Maybe it comes from living on a farm and being close to the natural order of things. You tell me if I'm wrong. You strike me as a clear-headed woman. Doesn't it all really boil down to just how you are as a person? Not what kind of man or what kind of woman, just what kind of person?
I think you put it very well.
Really? You know, I couldn't talk like this to Julie. Bless you. She'd make fun of me.
No, she wouldn't. You make wonderful sense, and she loves you.
My wife and I were married 18 years. People got it all wrong, you know? They say the most important thing is your health. You can lift this house off the ground, but what does it mean? Being with someone, sharing, that's what it's all about. Joey tells me you're not married.
No.
Sure you won't have another drink?
Oh, no. I really think it's that time.
I hope I didn't shear your ear off.
Not at all. You're going to leave the fire?
It'll be all right.
Especially with the new chimney.
Say, thanks for staying up and talking.
Good night.
Cut to Julie's room. Julie seems asleep as Dorothy carefully comes in and takes a flannel nightgown off a hook and tiptoes towards a bathroom. In the bathroom, Dorothy is shaving, her hair braided. She leans against the sink, exhausted. In Julie's room, Dorothy, ever so carefully, climbs into bed with Julie, sighs, and closes her eyes.
Daddy's a little out of touch, isn't he?
He's a nice man.
He's very lonesome. This farm is all he knows about the world. You're either happy or unhappy, married or not married. There's nothing in between. I've tried to get him to take out women, but since my mother died.
She must have been a very nice woman.
Oh, yes, so. I don't remember her very well. I remember little scenes with her, but they're like scenes from a movie, you know? I mean, I remember her helping me pick out this wallpaper. We looked at all kinds of patterns, and I picked one with great big purple flowers, and she said, "You've got to remember that once you pick it, it's going to cover the walls of your room for a long, long time." And I tried to imagine how those little purple flowers would look on the walls of my room at night when I was going to sleep. And in the morning, when I was getting dressed, and when I had a cold or the sulks, and I asked, "Which would you choose, Ma?" And she said, "The little rosebuds and daisies. Because daisies are such homey flowers, and rosebuds are always cheery and waiting to bloom."
It's very pretty. She made the right choice.
I made so many plans looking at this wallpaper. I kept waiting for the rosebuds to open.
Dorothy reaches over and strokes her hair.
That's nice. My mother did that too, sometimes. I remember that.
You think Ron will make the rosebuds open?
I guess not.
He drifts off in sleep. Exterior of the farm the next morning, the Easter egg hunt. Andrew finds Les points out things to Dorothy, who had trouble in her heels. Camera tilts up to find Julie up a tree. Les and Julie, arms over shoulders, disappear around the corner. Andrew falls and gets up and runs to Dorothy. She's confused, doesn't quite know what, and awkwardly picks him up. He puts his arms around her neck, and she slowly puts her arms around him. Les is repairing the fence and has trouble holding a crossbeam and getting the nail set. Suddenly, Dorothy lifts the beam and holds it in place. Les is startled and pleased and drives the nail in. They're a team. What sweet scenes. On the farm, Andrew is running with 3 eggs, and they all follow, laughing. In a car driving up, the door opens and Ron gets out. Andrew toddles towards him.
Oh, Andrew, you drunk again? Drunk again, hey? Are there others like yourself here, son? Yeah, I know you. You're the undead. Couldn't get back in your coffins in time, huh?
I'm sorry, Ron. We were just startled to see you.
Tomato plants all day long.
Looks like you have a little black rot there. Yeah, I've been having trouble. Yeah, I've been having trouble with that. Harvest the fruit now and let it ripen. Let it ripen the vine. It's the only way to control it.
Cow.
Pull back to see we are in a barn.
Have you ever seen a cow being milked by a hand, pal? You know how to milk a cow?
On another angle, Ron, expertly milking a cow. They all watch.
It's all on the wrists. How'd you like to ride on a horse, Andy?
Oh, no, he's too young, Ron.
I'll be on the horse with him.
You ride too?
Well,
Cut to Ron, expertly riding a horse with Andrew. Julie, Dorothy, and Les are all watching.
Cow.
excellent. You're going to be a fine farmer.
I'm hungry.
Forgive me. I've been very inconsiderate. You'll never be hungry again.
In the farmhouse kitchen, Ron is in an apron, expertly slicing onions and green peppers. They watch in silence. Do you want to keep reading both parts, or did somebody else want to take over one part for Eric so he doesn't have to?
I can take over Ron if you need.
Go for it.
Sorry, where were we? All those stars?
Top of 90.
Top on 90.
Scooted down for some reason. All right. The whole secret of Japanese cooking is in the peanut oil.
Afraid we don't have any of that. There's Crisco.
It's hard to heat the wok evenly with Crisco.
I don't think we have the wok either, unless it's a big bird that eats sheep.
No, that's a rock. You can get of it by spraying your flock with ordinary household Lysol. Stand back. I don't know how this will come out without peanut oil and the wok.
At the dinner table, everyone is eating.
This was delicious.
I wish you could have tasted it cooked correctly.
Well, I'm for bed.
I think I'll take a little walk by myself in this wonderful peace. Good night.
Nice woman.
Wonderful person.
Good human being. Well, I guess I'm shacking up with Andrew tonight, huh?
Unless you'd rather shack up with his grandpa.
Do I hear a third offer? Thank God, Les. It's working just the way we planned.
Outside the farmhouse, Dorothy is alone and clomps through weeds at night.
Shit.
Yeah. Nice night, isn't it? All those stars. You can see the little dipper out here. Funny how small.
Don't bother.
Okay.
Where'd you learn that farm routine and the cooking?
I lived with a girl who had a tomato plant. I had dinner at Danny Kaye's. I directed a documentary for the 4-H Club.
Oh, I'm sure Julie was impressed.
I wasn't trying to impress Julie. I was trying to impress you.
Why?
Because you don't like me. I have tremendous respect for that. Maybe it's because, like all artists, I feel that deep down I'm full of shit. Maybe not. I guess Sartre said it at best.
Forget it. You're knocking yourself out for nothing.
I don't mind. I find this relaxing. Why don't you like me? I've rarely met a woman I couldn't make like me.
I don't like you because you're a swine to Julie.
Oh?
You patronize her. You lie to her.
I never told Julie we were exclusive. I never said I wouldn't see other women. I just know she doesn't want me to see other women, so I lie to her to keep from hurting her feelings. If I told her the truth and hurt her feelings, you'd think I was terrific.
I was going for a walk.
Look at it from my side. A woman I meet wants me to seduce her. So I do. After I've seduced her, she acts like I've promised her something. So I act like I have too. I'm the one who's exploited. In many ways, I'm almost a slave.
She walks away and hold on Ron for a moment. From Ron's point of view, yes, he's moving toward the pastures on the fat side of the drive.
Dorothy,
Dorothy turns and Les approaches, holding a big cardigan sweater.
no nights out here are chilly.
He delicately drapes the sweater over her shoulders. On the countryside, cast members play chess. One memorizes lines. Dorothy and Van Horn sit on a sofa holding scripts. A TV monitor shows the crew activity on the floor.
It says angry, but wouldn't it be better if I was cool? Isn't that a better way to play it?
Why don't we try it that way?
As Dorothy finds the page, she glances at the TV monitor. She sees Ron talking with Julie, who's clearly turning on the channel.
Dorothy?
Alfred hands her a large heart-shaped box of candy.
From Julie's dad. But don't you dare. We're just getting you down to size.
That's such a thoughtless present to send a woman. Chocolates?
Michael's to Rita's office. Dorothy Michaels.
In Rita's office, it's cluttered with an Emmy or two. Rita is working as a knock is heard.
Come. Sit. You know, Dorothy, you're a complicated lady. On the one hand, you're a pain in the ass. Every time you change a line, I have to give the writers mouth to mouth. I've got the most expensive director in soap. I owe myself a quarter. And you've got him defensive and hostile. However, we're getting 3,000 pieces of mail a week. We picked up 6 share points, and that's largely due to you. There are 3 kinds of women in daytime drama: brainless bimbos, long-suffering bores, and cartoon dragon ladies. You're the first woman character who is her own person and can assert her own personality without robbing someone of theirs. You've got an enormous career ahead of you.
Well,
Do you know more people watch you every day than ever see a Barbra Streisand movie?
well, we're different types.
You're a breakthrough lady for us. We're picking up your option. You'll be with us for another year. Congratulations.
Cut to George Gray's office and close on George, who's on the phone.
I can't get you out of it. There's no out of it. It's a one-way option. Theirs.
What, and who the hell gave them that?
You did. You signed the standard contract.
Jesus.
I know it may be murder, but they're willing to pay. You're going from 400 to 650 an episode.
The violinist was getting 1,000 until he died.
The violinist was a man.
Well, I don't care how much they pay. I'm not doing it.
You have no choice.
I can tell them.
Tell them what? That you deliberately put an entire network on the spot? That you've been making a schmuck out of millions of women every day? They'll kill you. My secretary wants to be like you. I'm going to fire her. You're talking major fraud here, Michael. And what about me? You think anyone would believe that I wasn't in on this? You can't tell them, Michael. You're going to have to find a way to do it.
Cut to the loft at night. A prostrate Michael is in his darkened bedroom with a wet towel pressed to his forehead. Jeff tiptoes in with a glass of water and a handful of pills.
Can you take this many Valium?
We'll see.
As he reaches for the pills, the phone rings. It is answered by the machine. Michael turns the switch to monitor. As we hear,
Dorothy, it's Julie. There's sort of an emergency. If you get a chance, please call.
cut to Julie's apartment.
Thanks for coming.
Julie steps back to let Dorothy enter. Dorothy takes off her coat and looks at Julie.
Are you sure you want to do this?
No, but I'm going to do it. We've been fooling around. We've been fooling myself for a long time about Ron. Actually, not as long as I did about Mark. You didn't know Mark. He was Andrew's father. I guess I really wanted you here for moral support. Although Mrs. Crawley really did quit, and I was tempted to use that as an excuse to avoid going through with it. You want a drink?
I'm not breaking up with Ron.
I'd buy tickets to that. This does have a lot to do with you, though.
It does?
I've been sort of seeing Ron through your eyes lately. I think I knew you were right the first time you ever talked about Ron and me.
Julie, I don't want that responsibility.
Don't apologize. You've done me a favor. Why shouldn't you influence me? You wouldn't compromise your feelings like I have. You wouldn't live this kind of lie. It's like you always say, why plant sorghum when you're craving grits and eggs?
Did I say that?
Yes. And you're right. And I've always known it, but I've been too lazy or too scared. What the hell? Watching you the last few weeks, it's like you say, if a child don't ask, he don't get the grits.
Oh, I speak often of grits, don't I?
Anyway, it's like getting ready for a take. If Andrew wakes up, give him a little of that applesauce. That usually shuts him up. I shouldn't be more than a couple of hours.
She hugs Dorothy and runs out. Cut to Julie's bathroom. Dorothy, her blouse off, is shaving. She stands in bra and skirt. She nicks her chin, drawing a little blood, and catches sight of something in the mirror. Whirls and sees sleepy Andrew standing in the doorway, studying her.
Uncle Dorothy has a touch of 5 o'clock shadow.
In Andrew's bedroom, it is dark, just a light. Andrew is cradled in Dorothy's arms and hears her singing a lullaby. There's a piece of toilet paper stuck to Dorothy's cut chin, and Dorothy tucks him in, then hears the front door. She rips the piece of toilet paper off. In Julie's living room, Julie is cold sober and Ron is not. She's about to make him a drink.
What do you want?
I've been trying to tell you for the last 2 hours, but it doesn't seem to make any difference.
Ron, I said you could come in for a drink.
God forbid I should be testy.
He starts to pour a drink and sees Dorothy in the doorway.
Hey, what do you say, Dorothy? Tootsie? Is it all right to call you Tootsie when you're not working? No, it lacks a certain dignity. How about Lucretia Borgia, another famous poisoner?
Ron, you're impossible. Impossible.
Impossible. I think I prefer the second reading. What's your opinion? You're the director.
Ron, please leave.
In good time. Ms. Michaels and I are having a discussion. You said yourself that she's someone whose opinion you respect, although what you respect escapes me.
Julie slaps him. He whirls on her. Dorothy moves quickly to him.
Now that's enough.
Of course, yes, of course. Of Julie, not
I
quite.
think you had better leave.
What a coincidence. I was just going to ask you to leave.
Please, everybody.
You can't please everybody. Ask Dorothy. Let's just get you to a taxi, or a subway, or anywhere that's not here.
Take your hand off me.
Let go of her.
I'm going to ask you once more to take your hand off of me.
Why? God knows I'm not doing it for pleasure.
Dorothy knees him and he doubles over. She throws him over her shoulder and rushes him to the door, opens it with one hand, and dumps him in the hall. As she closes the door,
My God, are you all right?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
How did you? Oh my God, you carried him. Oh shit, what a mess. I'm sorry I got you into this. It's not your problem. Dorothy, you're bleeding. Did he hit you?
she has, in fact, seen Dorothy's shaving cut. Dorothy quickly puts her hand to the cut.
Perhaps in the heat of the moment. I'm sure he didn't mean it.
Here, lie down.
It's nothing.
Oh, Dorothy, what did I do? I'm so confused. What am I going to do tomorrow? Who am I going to have dinner with?
Dorothy looks into Julie's eyes. She can help herself no longer. She moves towards Julie's lips just before they touch.
Dorothy, please.
Oh, right. No, of course. Julie,
Please don't say anything.
But there's a reason.
Don't be embarrassed. I understand the reason.
No, that's the reason's not the reason. I'm not the person you think I am.
But he is. You don't have to explain.
Look, give me a second. If you could just see me out of these clothes.
No, Listen, I can't think anymore. I can't talk. I can't make sense. Tomorrow, okay? I mean, all things considered, this hasn't been my favorite evening. Please understand.
She enters her bedroom and closes the door. Exterior of the street that night, Dorothy walks disconsolately. She passes the marquee of a Holiday Inn. A sweet-faced, eager-looking salesman, dressed like a salesman, pencils in his suit jacket, notices her.
Good evening. Would you like to keep a lonely guy company?
Fuck off.
Close on a bouquet of roses. The cellophane being ripped off, pull back to see we are in Dorothy and April's dressing room. April takes the gift card out of Dorothy's hand.
You were a real hit up at that farm. God, he's such an old guy. Okay, your line.
Why, certainly, my dear.
Things have been so much better since your come to Southwest General. We're all so grateful to you for your help and advice.
Now bare-chested, slipping into her radiologist coat.
I really think of all of you as well, my daughters. And what kind of a mother would I be if I didn't give my girls tips? I mean, tips, I meant.
Would you button me up?
As Dorothy is buttoning up April, there is a knock and Julie enters.
That tickles.
May I see you for a moment, Dorothy?
Oh, Julie, I wasn't myself last night. I'm not even myself right now.
Don't explain anything. Let's skip all that. My father's coming into town, and I know he's coming to see you.
I won't see him.
No, you have to. You know what he's like. I don't care what you tell him, but don't lead him on. Please, you have to let him down gently. You owe him that. Please, Dorothy.
Cut to the Rainbow Grill at night. Dorothy and Les are at a table. Les in his very best. The band plays a romantic number.
Coffees. How about some brandy, Dorothy?
Oh, just coffee for me. Well, perhaps a little brandy might be wise.
Yes, madam. Food wasn't bad, was it?
No, very fresh, not overcooked.
Fish wasn't frozen. Potatoes were crisp. Would you like to dance?
Dance?
He stands and takes her hand. His looks make it impossible for her to say no. On the dance floor, Les and Dorothy begin to dance, Dorothy finding it difficult to follow. A middle-aged couple recognize her as they dance by. We love you. You're wonderful. Dorothy smiles and is suddenly confused as Les executes a dazzling bit of footwork.
My wife and I took a course.
They continue, and Dorothy is having a tough time.
I'm sorry. I forget you're on your feet all day.
At their table, Les holds her chair for her, then sits. Brandy is waiting. Dorothy starts to drink hers.
I was sure happy you could come out tonight. I know you usually have a lot of lines to learn.
Les, I think there's something I'd better say.
There's something I want to say too. Wouldn't it be funny if we wanted to say the same thing?
I don't think what I have to say is what you have to say.
Well, mine's pretty simple. I'm not that good with words anyway. I'm not sure how to start. You ever buy a real good pair of boots?
Boots?
Yeah, work boots. If you get the right pair, and after you work them in real good, they feel just as part of you as your own feet, if you know what I mean. It's a lot like with people, boots. You know how comfortable they make you feel, how they hold up to wear and tear over the years. I don't know why I'm going on about shoes and feet. I only took 2 pictures of my whole life. My high school graduation and my wedding. My wife was standing next to me in both of them. I never thought I'd want anybody to fill her place. I never thought there could be another woman who would give me the same feeling. That all changed last weekend.
Les.
Let me finish. I've got to do this in one go or I'll never get through. I know this is sort of quick, but that's how I am. Never did believe in getting down to it. I'd like you to be my wife.
He opens a ring box, revealing a small diamond ring.
Don't say anything now. I know it's fast, so take some time to get used to it. And if the answer's no, well, at least I'll feel you took me seriously enough to think it over.
Will you forgive me? I feel faint.
Well, if you're not the god darnest most feminine little thing I've ever met in my whole life, come on, I'll take you home.
Would you mind terribly? I just need to be alone. I'd like to start thinking it over as soon as possible.
In the interior of the corridor restrooms, marked ladies and gentlemen, AA distressed Dorothy enters the one marked gentlemen. A beat, then she reappears and enters the ladies. Another beat, then the middle-aged man pokes his head out, baffled. In a street outside the loft, a cab pulls up and Dorothy drags herself out.
Dorothy?
Dorothy whirls around and it's John Van Horn standing in a shadow.
This is a nightmare.
Don't be angry. I just had to talk to you.
How did you know where I lived?
I followed you home last week. I didn't have the courage to talk to you on the phone without seeing your face. May I come up for a drink?
And I have a terrible headache. Please, some other time. Good night, John.
She goes in. Van Horn watches the building until a light goes on in the loft. Then, in a surprisingly good baritone, he bursts into loud song.
I'll know when my love comes along. I'll know then and there. On some fly-by-night Broadway romance. And I'll stop and I'll stare at the face in the crowd. I don't know.
Oh, my lord. Shush. I'll buzz you in.
In the loft, Dorothy lets John.
Just anything alcoholic will do. One drink and I'll be on my way. Nice mirror.
Thank you. Here. Now, what is it that couldn't wait, John?
Dorothy, I'm an untalented old has-been piece.
Were you ever famous?
No.
Then how can you be a has-been?
I love the way you don't let me get away with anything. Dorothy, I want you.
Pardon?
I've never wanted a woman this much.
Please, perhaps some other time.
Don't turn me away. It will kill me.
John, really, it's not you. I'm just not interested in getting involved right now emotionally.
Then I'll take straight sex.
John, I don't want to hurt you.
I don't mind.
What draft is this? They struggle, John trying to cover her mouth with kisses. The door opens. Jeff walks in. John pulls away, straightening. There's a terrible silence.
Jeff Thomas, John Van Horn.
How do you do?
How do you do?
I hope I haven't.
No. I hope I haven't. I just want you to know, Jeff, for the record, that nothing happened here tonight.
Thank you, John.
Sorry, Dorothy. I didn't understand. I'm really sorry.
He rushes out and Jeff whirls on Michael.
Slut.
Oh, knock it off. You don't know the kind of night I have had?
I can imagine.
No, you can't. I can't even imagine it. This is becoming a horror show. I'll tell you the truth, Jeff. If I didn't know it would hurt so many people, I'd... Oh, shit. It's him again.
In the bedroom and keep quiet.
Don't answer.
Michael?
Get that makeup off.
Oh, God.
Hurry.
Michael, I can hear you and Jeff talking, so at least do me the courtesy of telling me you don't want to see me.
I'm coming, Sandy. Just let me get a robe. Michael's taking a shower. Oh, Michael, Sandy's here.
He puts on his robe. Michael turns on the shower.
Oh, tell her I'll be right out. I'm taking a shower.
I told her. Damn it, where's that robe?
He and Michael race around the apartment, hiding feminine apparel.
Here it is.
Michael races back into the bathroom, and Jeff runs to the door.
Hi, Sandy. Sorry to make you wait. How you doing?
You must think I'm very dumb.
Michael comes. Go ahead.
Sandy, hi. Boy, that shower felt good. Hey, I've got a present for you. Wait right here.
He dashes to his bedroom,
Well, I'll just finish my revisions.
and he whips into his bedroom. Michael comes out carrying a box of chocolates less scent.
For you.
Is this supposed to mean nothing's wrong?
Well, it isn't, is it?
I've called you all week, and you never called me back.
Really? I didn't get the message. Want some candy? I went to 8 stores to get this kind.
Ooh, a card.
Don't read that. I was very angry when I wrote it.
Thank you for the lovely night in front of the fire. Missing you less? This isn't even for me. This is for some other girl's candy.
No. It isn't. I swear. I wouldn't give you another girl's candy.
Well, whose candy is it?
Mine.
A guy named Les is sending you candy.
Yes, he can't eat it. He's diabetic.
Why is he thanking you for the lovely night by the fire?
My mind has gone blank.
Michael? Are you gay?
In what sense?
Oh, Michael, don't lie to me. God, I'd rather think you're gay than think you don't want to see me.
You would?
Just be honest with me. Give it to me straight, for God's sake. It's so demeaning to listen to these stories, no matter how bad the truth is. It doesn't tear you up like dishonesty. It leaves you some dignity and self-respect.
You're right, Sandy. Oh, okay. Here's the truth. I'm in love with another woman. Sandy!
Jeff's bedroom, he sits at a desk, carefully correcting his play. At the sound of Sandy's scream, his in the living room, Michael is racing around, closing the windows.
I'm really surprised you're taking it this way. I mean, we never said we were in love. We went to bed once. Sandy, stop it. I'm crazy about you. You're one of my dearest friends. I'd go nuts if I didn't know you were here, where I could call you up and talk to you. But we're not in love. And if we keep pretending we are, we're going to risk losing what we have. You feel okay?
No. Why should I feel okay?
Well, I thought you asked me to be straight.
Yes, but I didn't say I'd feel okay. I feel awful.
Well, what can I do? Can I do anything for you?
No. I'll just have to feel awful until I don't. I just have to know you made me feel that way.
What about the play?
I wouldn't allow personal despair to interfere with the professional commitment.
Are we still friends?
No, I don't take shit like this from friends. Only lovers.
She slams the door. In George Gray's living room at night, a rumpled George sits in his bathrobe, sipping vodka. Michael paces the room.
She thinks I'm gay, George.
With her. She'll know you're straight.
I don't want to do that.
All right, I'll sleep with her and tell her you're straight.
Oh, wait a minute. I did sleep with her, and she still thinks I'm gay.
I don't want to get into that, Michael.
Anyway, I don't want to go to bed just to go to bed with anyone anymore.
Being a woman's made you weird, Michael.
I want to go back to my life, George. You got wall-to-wall lawyers in your office. There must be some way for you to get me off the show.
Michael.
What if I died, for Christ's sakes? What if Dorothy died?
Kill somebody and bring me a stiff. Well, we'll try that. But she better look like you. Rita doesn't miss a trick.
These are nice people, George. Good people. I mean, if I didn't love Julie before, the way she looked so vulnerable when she thought I was a lesbian.
I thought you said gay.
Sandy thinks I'm gay. Julie thinks I'm a lesbian.
You're not, are you? I always thought Dorothy was straight.
She is! And Julie's father wants to marry me.
You mean marry Dorothy?
Yes, of course, Dorothy.
Does he know she's a lesbian?
Dorothy is not a lesbian.
Okay.
I mean, he gave me a ring, a diamond.
We're not letting me see it on you.
George, did you ever have a man look you in the eye and tell you he cares for you as much as he cared for his wife, who he loved with all of his heart? Has that ever happened to you, George? Do you have any idea what that feels like?
Actually.
Cut to the loft with Jeff alone at night, sitting at the table making circles on a yellow pad with his drink. There's a copy of Backstage on the table. Michael enters and crosses to the refrigerator for a beer.
Congratulations.
On what?
Your new contract. It's in the trades.
Oh, well, I was gonna tell you. I just didn't want to
Hurt my feelings. Like you didn't want to hurt Sandy's.
No, that's not it. I was just trying to figure it out. How we could, postpone the play a bit.
I do a play in Syracuse. We can be out at supermarkets signing autographs. I don't blame you. Of course, you have to dress funny.
Wait a minute. What is going on?
You're a hit. You were an out-of-work actor who couldn't get arrested until you put on a dress. I think I detected an irony here. Let me try and put this in words. It's good practice. If Michael Dorsey, the purist, Savonarola of the American theater, has found artistic fulfillment in a soap opera in drag, then it's true. There is no God.
Cut to the control room and close on the monitor. April is just finishing her speech.
Dr. Brewster, some of those things could destroy a woman's body.
And cut.
Brewster's office, April, Van Horn, and Dorothy relax as the scene ends. Beyond the set, we see Rita on the phone.
Hold it, everybody. Ron, Alfred, slight change of plans.
Julie enters with her coat on, hair in curlers, and crosses through toward her dressing room. A subdued Dorothy watches her during the following.
Our future ex-tape editor has just spilled a bottle of celery tonic on the second reel of the show airing today. We're gonna have to do the party again, live. Quick, like bunnies. We've got 26 minutes to get into wardrobe and reset.
Rita.
Don't worry, John. You only have a few lines.
I don't see why we can't use the tape just because it's a little sticky.
In the dressing room corridor, Dorothy, in party dress, comes out of her dressing room holding a small gift-wrapped package and knocks at Julie's dressing room. Julie opens the door. There's a moment of tension. Dorothy hands her the gift.
No, I can't.
It's for Andrew.
Oh, that's nice.
It's a Rubik's Cube.
Oh?
About the other night, I don't know how to say this.
No, please don't say anything. Listen, I wouldn't be honest if I didn't tell you how much you've meant to me these past few weeks. And I'll always be grateful. You taught me how to stand up for myself because you stand up for yourself. You taught me how to stop hiding from myself and to just be myself because you're always yourself. But I can't see you anymore. It would be a lie. It would be leading you on. I love you, Dorothy, but I can't love you.
Places, please, immediately.
In the control room, Ron, Mel, and Rita are all at the controls. Seated behind them are the writers. On the monitor marked Air, the taped section of the show is being broadcast.
I love Miss Kimberly, Nurse Charles. I don't want to be rude, but after what happened, how can I be in the same room with Dr. Brewster?
This is the most important night in Emily Kimberly's life, and we're all going to be there to honor her, including you.
Musical sting. The picture fades and is replaced by a commercial.
30 seconds.
On the party set, a piece of a living room. The actors all gather tensely. They hold drinks, cameras move into position, and Dorothy goes to the top of the stairs.
5, 4, 3.
Jackie signals the cast as the tally light goes on. Dorothy sweeps down the staircase as a middle-aged man raises his glass. Let's all raise our glasses to our guest of honor, a woman who is a pillar of strength, a woman we are all the better for having known, Miss Emily Kimberly.
Speech, speech.
Well, I can't tell you how touched I am by all this. I never dreamed I would ever feel so affectionate toward all of you. It makes it all the more difficult to say what I have to say. You see, I didn't come here just as an administrator, Dr. Brewster. I came to settle an old score. My father was a brilliant man. He built this hospital, but his family, he was a tyrant.
In the control room, the writers' heads are in their hands.
Here we go again.
He drove his wife to drink. His son Edward became a recluse, and the oldest daughter, Anita.
What the hell is she doing?
On the floor, the cast is immobilized.
The cheerful one, the pretty one, became pregnant when he was 15 and was driven out of the house. She couldn't give up her baby, her little girl. She was terrified that her daughter would bear the stigma of illegitimacy, so she changed her name and contracted a disfiguring disease. She raised the little girl as her sister. Her one ambition, besides being her child's happiness, was to become a nurse. And she did, at Southwest General.
She did?
Yes. The harsh realities of her beginnings had made her a champion of the underdog. You didn't know her real identity, Dr. Brewster.
No, I didn't.
Nor did you, Nurse Charles. You only knew her as Anthea. Yes, my dear, the older sister who raised you was your mother.
Jesus.
In the control room, the writers are on their feet in shock.
You have a preference of shots on this one?
This dedicated woman with fanatical interest in fairness was ahead of her time. She knew she had to speak out whenever she saw injustice and inhumanity. Do you understand that, Dr. Brewster?
I never laid a hand on her, I swear.
She was stunned by the other nurses out of fear for their own positions. Maybe it was the disease. She became a pariah to the doctors who found her straightforwardness too threatening. But she was deeply loved by her brother. The brother who watched her pay for her honesty by losing first her job and then her life. The brother who swore he would make it up to her, but on her terms as a woman, and just as proud to be a woman as she ever was. For I am not Emily Kimberly, daughter of Dwayne.
She tears off her wig. It's Michael.
But Edward Kimberly, the recluse brother of Anthea.
The TV is on. Sandy screams. The farmhouse kitchen. Les screams. Everyone screams. Les crosses in the line. Yeah, working on the play. The TV is on. He stares at it, unmoving. But there is the snap of his pencil breaking in the studio.
Let's see you drink to that.
He's your uncle.
And fade and roll commercial. Okay, Ron? Ron?
On the studio floor, Julie rushes at Michael and begins to slap and beat at him.
You son of a bitch! You cheat! How could you? How could you do this to anybody?
Michael takes it stoically and she stops. All we hear is their breathing. The others watch in stunned silence. Then she suddenly comes to life again, a tigress.
Not to anybody. To me! Me, you bastard!
Does Jeff know?
In the control room, Ron is catatonic. Rita screams at the writers.
You gotta write us out of this by tomorrow.
There's no writer in America who can do that.
I can.
Music up as a series of long dissolves. The exterior of Central Park, a long view of Michael during the day, walking thoughtfully. Collar up, hands in pockets. He passes a mime in whiteface, hat on the ground. He goes back and drops some money in the hat. On a New England countryside, a pastoral view, it's spring. The leaves are beginning to show. In a playhouse, a sign identifies it the Syracuse Playhouse. A hand-painted poster beneath it reads, Michael Dorsey and Sandy Fisher in the Love Canal, written and directed by Jeff Slater. In a bar in upstate New York, a few patrons, mostly rural, some farmers, watch the football game on TV. Les enters and takes his usual place at the bar. The camera pans to see Michael rise from a table and move to the stool next to Les. Les turns. They stare at one another a beat. Then Les turns back to the TV. Michael reaches into his pocket and puts the ring back on the bar and pushes it toward Les, who does not take his eyes off the TV.
Off the bar, I'll break your hand.
I thought you'd want it back.
Outside, give it to me outside.
Michael puts the box away and Les turns to him.
Why'd you do it?
I needed to work.
Hope you enjoyed the chocolates.
I gave them to a girl.
So did I. Thought. You like them?
Chocolates?
Girls.
I like Julie. I think I love Julie.
Putting on a dress is a funny way to show it.
I know. I never meant to hurt anybody.
Truth is, you were okay company.
So were you.
Could have done without the dancing. I'm seeing a real nice woman now.
Really?
You think I didn't check her out?
Can I buy you a beer?
You got 6 bits.
Does Julie ever mention me?
Cut to the exterior of the TV studio entrance. Julie comes out and is immediately surrounded by fans. He begins signing and suddenly looks up. From Julie's point of view, we see Michael standing against the building and looking at her. Close in on Julie as she hands a pen back and moves slowly away. Fuller angle, Mike and Julie. He catches up to her and they walk in silence for a beat.
I saw your father.
I heard.
Now that's a weird place, that Injun Joe's where he hangs out.
He doesn't hang out there.
That's right. I forgot. How's Andrew? He like the Rubik's Cube?
He's working on it with his mouth.
I guess it wasn't the most appropriate gift, huh? How's it going?
Turns out screwing around is dangerous. April's lost her radiology license. If Dr. Brewster weren't keeping her, she'd be on the streets. Terry Bishop's back. I guess you saw the reviews of Iceman Cometh. Seems he's my uncle too. How, you'll have to ask the writers.
I meant, how's it going with you?
Same old, same old.
How's Ron?
But no, he left the show to freelance. I read your reviews from Syracuse. Surprised you went up there. You were pretty hot after your unveiling. You didn't have to go up there to work.
I didn't have to, but I wanted to. It's a good play. It deserves to be seen. Besides, I made a promise.
Julie slows, stops, and then turns to Michael.
I miss Dorothy.
You don't have to. She's right here. I'm Dorothy. Listen, the hard part's over. We were already best friends. Don't hold it against me that I wear pants.
Will you loan me that yellow dress?
The Halston? You'll spill wine on it.
A group of tourists with a child approach Julie.
Nurse Charles, could you sign this, please?
A little boy looks up at Michael.
Are you anybody?
Am I anybody? Me? Are you kidding? I've been a woman, an old man, a prince of Denmark. I've been Romeo and Cyrano. I've been Willie Loman. Am I anybody? I'm everybody. I'm an actor, man.
Freeze frame. The end. Everybody. Well, we're amazing. Sorry it was a little bumpy. We had a last minute dropout. And I know this draft is very different. I like it though.
Yeah, it had some really good like in between scenes where you get to see the characters more.
Yeah.
Love that ending. Now I have to go watch the movie.
Alrighty, you guys. Thank you all so much. You're all.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Bye.